Today let us introduce our steam turbine generator stator and dynamic characteristics tester. First, let's look at the composition of the system. This is data acquisition instrument. This is force hammer. This is acceleration sensor. This is data acquisition instrument power cord. This is force hammer connect wire, whose ends are both BNC connector. This is acceleration sensor connect wire. One end is BNC connector and another is M5 connector, used for the acceleration sensor. This is a network cable used for communication between the system and the computer. As a backup, we have prepared 2 force hammer and 4 sensing connect wires for you. The system has a total of 2 acceleration sensors available. This is already installed software. Now let us introduce how do we connect the data acquisition instrument. First, power on the data acquisition instrument. This is a self-locking plug. Plug it into this interface on the data acquisition instrument. Once it's in, you can't pull it out. The plug can only be put out like this, by pinching the threaded area at the front end with your fingers. Then press down the button to turn on the device. Connect the device and computer by the network cable. Now open the software. We can see that the software has recognized the device at the lower right corner of the software interface, where we'll show the device IP address. You can also check the device IP address on the back of the data acquisition instrument. Please note to ensure that the computer can recognize the device. Please change the IP address of the computer to this in advance. Now let us introduce how to connect the force hammer and acceleration sensor. One end of the force hammer is connected to the number 0 port. Insert and twist right to tighten. The other end of the force hammer is connected to the force hammer port. Also, insert and twist right to tighten. Now the force hammer connection is OK, it is ready to work. Now we begin to connect the acceleration sensor. Insert the BNC connector of the acceleration sensor connect wire to the number 1 port. Twist right to tighten. The M5 connector of the other end of acceleration sensor connect wire is connected to the side port of the acceleration sensor. Twist right to tighten. Now the acceleration sensor connection is OK, it is ready to work. When we do the testing, we need to fix the sensor. This is the test surface. We need to glue it to the test position. That is to say, glue the test surface onto the steam turbine generator stator end. We usually use double-sided tape to attach the sensor to the test object, like this. Till now all the system connection is over. We also can see that the computer has recognized the data acquisition instrument. Now let us introduce the software parameter setting. Click Config in the upper left corner of the software. We'll go into Basic Settings. Test name can be set according to the actual project. There is no need to modify the file path. Set the number of channels to 2. Basic setting is over. Click the DAQ to enter DAQ setting. Set sampling rate and samples to 5120. Set trigger value to 50 and pre-trigger points to 500. Set average times to 3 and waiting mode to linear. This is the DAQ general setting. Click the channels to enter the channel setting. The first line is the force hammer, the second line is the acceleration sensor. We prepared 2 sensors for you, sensor 1 and sensor 2. If you are testing with sensor 1, change the channel settings to look like this. Also, if you are testing with sensor 2, just need to change the channel settings to look like this. Click OK after setting. Now the config is OK. Let us do a testing for showing. Click Start at the top left. Now you can see there is signal recognized. The testing system is in the waiting status. Now let's start the first testing at the first point. The second time. The third time. Now the 3 times testing at one point is finished. Click and test to end the testing. Usually we need to test a lot of points at the testing site. According to the requirements of the national standard, 18 points need to be tested around the stator end. We are just showing test, so we only did 1 point test. Also did not save the test result data. You can see there's a red area at the bottom of the screen, which means no data is saved. If we need to run 4 more tests and save data, please click the Save button at the top left. Click the Start to do a testing. The red area will turn green, indicating that the test data will now be saved. Let us go. First time at 1 point. Second time. Third time. That's 3 tests at 1 point. After the test of each point, the system will wait for 5 seconds and then automatically enter the next point of the test. This indicates that the software has started recording the first test at the second point. The first time. The second time. The third time. Wait 5 seconds, automatically enter the next point of the test. This now indicates that the software will record the first test data for the third point. Let us go. The first time. The second time. The third time. This time we did a total of 9 tests with 3 points. Click and test to end the testing. The testing is over if we just need to do 3 points testing. You may need to test many points at site. Please just do as this video showing. Our this device introduction video is over. Thanks for your watching. When doing tests on site, we usually need to sample multiple points. Now watch a site video to learn how to use a hammer to knock for sampling. Signal 1, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 2, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 3, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 4, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 5, the first time. The second time. The third time. Done. Signal 6, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 7, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 8, the first time. The second time. The third time. Signal 9, the first time. The second time. The third time. And so on. We do not shoot the video one by one. Signal 19, the second time. The third time.
Thank you for watching the tutorial video prepared by HVPZ Tester.